Hello, Dee Hennessy here, and this is the third part in a three-part series, Mindfulness for Winter Days. Part of the Encouraging Minds workshops developed by Kilkenny County Council, with funding from the Department of Rural and Community Development and also from the Dormant Accounts. So welcome in. And to begin with, I'd like to invite a short practice called the safe space. It's part of cultivating self-compassion, which we know now in mindfulness is one of the great resilient tools, one of the superpowers of mindfulness. This ability to develop kindness towards ourselves as a prerequisite to being a kind presence in the world. So taking a moment to get comfortable now, maybe settling back into the chair that you're sitting in. And just taking a moment to find that way of sitting that is both alert and comfortable for you. Maybe noticing the 2 feet flat on the floor. Noticing the points of contact between the body and the chair. Maybe giving the shoulders a little attention and allowing the shoulders to drop even, just a little. And then seeing what you'd like to do to give the eyes a rest. Maybe lowering the gaze, just focusing on a spot a couple of feet in front of you on the floor. Maybe staying focused on me, or if you prefer, to close the eyes. And now, as always, just beginning the practice by noticing the breath. Maybe taking 3 deep intentional breaths now. Breathing in, nice and long and slow. And breathing out, nice and long and slow. On the in-breath, breathing in nourishment. And on the out-breath, just letting go even a little. Breathing in, nice and long and slow. And breathing out, letting go even a little. So just allowing the rhythm of the breath now to settle. So as the body settles on the chair, the feet are supported by the floor, and so the practice is supported by our breathing. So in this exercise, we're going to visualize a beautiful place that you find relaxing and where you feel at home. Your safe space might be in the woods, among the tall trees, hearing the rustling of the leaves, smelling the earth, feeling the air, noticing the stillness and the strength of the trees all around you. Your safe space might be on a beach, feeling the warm sand under your bare feet, noticing the warmth of the bright sun on your face, seeing the white fluffy clouds in the sky, hearing the gentle sound of the waves crashing in on the pebbles, the coming and going of the waves. Your safe space might be in your own garden, sitting in a favourite spot, or in a local park, a favourite tree. Your safe space might be lying on a hammock on a warm sunny day, Or maybe it's sitting by a roaring fire with a good book. So just taking a moment to find your safe space. And as you do so, allowing each of your senses to notice what's here in the safe space. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What can you smell? What are the tactile or touch? What do you taste on your tongue? What's in the air? So just getting a really strong feeling of your safe space. And settling here for a moment. So nothing to do, nowhere to be, except resting and luxuriating in your safe space. And soon it'll be time to leave the safe space for now. But knowing as you do that you can return here anytime to the feelings, the sensations, the sounds and the sights, the tastes and the smell of this safe space, grounding you, rooting you in peace and strength and resilience. So when you're ready now, noticing again the feet on the floor and opening your eyes or lifting the gaze. And so that's a compassion practice called the safe space. So another self-compassion practice is just bringing a sense of touch. So I invite you to just use your hands now, maybe to rub the arms all the way from the hands to the elbows up to the shoulders, maybe even rubbing the shoulders. And noticing the warmth from the hands as we make contact. Maybe the shoulders need a little attention. You may have a different part of the body where you would like to make contact by a sense of touch. Maybe it's the knees, the hips. Maybe it's the tummy or the head. Just bringing some sense of touch and noticing that already once the hands make contact, there's a sense of warmth. And we know that that sends a message to the brain. All will be well. And the brain sends a message back, just releasing that hormone of oxytocin and just allowing us a sense of well-being. Maybe giving ourselves a little hug. One thing the brain can't do is tell the difference between whether it's ourselves or somebody else who's giving us a hug. So we can have the benefit and feel the compassion. The 5 tips for this session all involve the outdoors. We know again from the evidence in mindfulness practice, I do not need to be digging up in the garden. I do not need to be outside for long periods of time. Even going to a window or stepping outside is already sending really helpful anti-stress messages to my brain. So tip number 1, look out a window or step outside and listen. Tip number 2, do some mindful walking, by which we simply mean just walking and noticing something, allowing the eyes to be drawn to something in particular. Tip number 3. Spend some time cloud watching, noticing the clouds coming and going in the sky. Tip number 4. When the occasion comes that there's rain, and I think we get that often, stand outside if possible, or open a window and listen to the sounds of rain. Tip number 5. Rake some leaves or walk in some leaves and notice that even though these leaves are done and dying, they are already part of the next season. So things change, things die back, and new life emerges. Thank you for being with me. Wishing you peace and joy and a good week.